Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel and to week 23 of Roxy's weekly challenge. I think I've just about caught up with her now. And I've been quite excited to do this. First of all, when she did these are ephemera holders using an old book. And as you can see, I do have an old book. It's a pretty grotty old book. All the cover's a bit bent. But it's a good size and it's quite a sturdy cover. The only problem was the spine was just about hanging on by a thread. So I thought rather than making a new spine, I've just reinforced it with some Tyvek inside as well, inside and out. Not particularly straight, but then I will be covering it up. So it's kind of a funny old shape, but I'm not worried about that. It's going to be functional. So yeah, first of all, I thought I wasn't sure what I would use it for, because as you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I have a whole bunch of these little ephemera holders which I really enjoy making. So I've been making little ephemera holders for a while, and they're just as Rachel said, she wanted them in front of her. That's where I keep them. These are just made out of 6x6 papers. So I thought, well, this is an interesting opportunity to make something a bit bigger. And when I thought about it, actually what I really could do with is something to hold all my my sort of vintage people, what I call. So I've got a whole bunch of different ladies that from different people, all different sizes as well. So these are Smarty Mays, and I also have, I've got the Roxy Creations Italian ladies. So actually they're the biggest. So I've got to, as long as I make sure my pockets are big enough to hold these, and then I can do some little pockets for some of the tiny ones. I'm hoping I'll get it all in, because I know from experience that it takes no time at all to fill these little ephemera holders. And it may be that I'll have to do a second one, but I'm not going to do two on camera, because I know it'll take me a lot longer than it does Rachel to get this all finished. And I don't want to get really behind again. So I've done exactly the same preparation as she's done. I have reinforced my spine. I've created this hidden spine with a piece of card that'll just sit inside there, which I think goes quite nicely with the red. But I don't really like all this spotted cover. It's the sort of thing she really likes. I'm not really that big a fan of these spotted inner covers, I'm afraid, so I'm going to cover mine up. And I'm going to use the same from the same paper pad as I'm going to use for the signatures. And it's this Stamperia paper pad, which I've had for a little while. And in the fashion of many of us, I haven't wanted to use it. I've been kind of hoarding it because it's so beautiful. I'm going to go and have a look on Amazon, see if I can get another one, because I just love it. But so I did take off the back page, because I thought, well, most of them I should want them double-sided, but I don't need the paper to line these to be double-sided, so I used the paper from the back page, which is actually really lovely, and it's got the red in it, which is what I wanted. Me being me, I cut them I cut them upside down basically, because I wanted this one to be a bit wider, no, a bit narrower, because I only need it to go up to the paper, and I cut it this way round. So it would have been about right, and then this one this way round. And then when I looked at the back of it, I realised I had it upside down. So this was meant. If I'd done them both the same, it wouldn't have mattered. But it doesn't matter, because it's going to be underneath this piece anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. So just make sure I have actually got them up the right way now. So that is going to go there, and this one is going to go here, and they're going to then. This, when the signatures have been sewn in, are going to go there, so that will be fine. And I really like that. I mean, all these papers are just fabulous. Just love them so much. So I think before I choose my signatures, because Rachel did 2 signatures, 3 sheets of scrapbook paper for each one, and she did 4 books, which I've said I'm only going to do 1. It'll take me the same amount of time, probably longer to do 1 than it took her to do 4. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I know my limitations, so I'm going to stay within them. So I'm going to glue the first one down. I'm using Fabri-Tac purely because it's the best. It's the one that seems to get flow better. I've tried using this really small bottle of tacky glue that I've got, and the hole is so tiny I can't get enough out, so I need to transfer that into my Sugar Bell bottle because it seems to it does seem to flow much better from the Sugar Bell. I just haven't had time to do that, so I'm going to stick with this because once it gets going, it gets going, which is what I need at the moment. Give it a little poke. Make sure I haven't got any cloggage. Okay. So yeah, I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to use this paper pad. It's just so gorgeous, and I've held back every time I've been doing something with scrapbook paper. I think no, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to use that. It's too pretty. Which is stupid. But I thought, well, this is something I will be using all the time, so it would be nice to have the papers that I really love in it, because I'll be able to see them whenever I use this ephemera holder. So I thought it's a good opportunity. And the other paper pad I would have used if I'd done more than one. I have got the wallpaper pad by Tim Holtz, which again I have been hoarding a bit and not wanting to use. So it was a toss up between those two, but this one definitely won for me. I like the Tim Holtz, but I love the Stamperia. Oops, it's not quite going where I want it. Come down a bit. It's not coming down to the bottom where I want it to be, and it needs to touch. That's it. Just a fraction. I did cut it quite close to the edge, and it is possible, if I need more pockets, I could probably put a pocket in on the cover as well. Seeing how many things I can get in, and then I'll just do the other one. Right, so that's glued in. Now, as you can see, I've got a bit of a gap, but it's not going to be a problem because that's going to go in there. And this is a bit bent. It's kind of slightly bowed here. Again, I don't think it's a real problem. So we'll come back to that. That's got to dry. And I'm obviously going to cover this with some fabric. I have a few choices again. Sometimes it's hard to choose. But let's just look at the paper pad now and choose the signatures. So I'm not quite sure why that's bending up there, but never mind. So I've just got my scraps now. I mean, so gorgeous. Okay, stop drilling. So it's a possibility. I do like that. Yeah, that's going to go. One. I'm not sure about that one. I don't really go bundle on the black. That's definitely an option. Yeah, I like this one. Two. Love this one. Three. And again, so gorgeous. Oops. Four. Let's see, let's make sure. It's a bit plain, but I don't mind that. Oh no, haha. Okay, so I've got this one. And this one. Ooh, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that's gorgeous too. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. So now I have to choose between these two. It's got to be this one, I think. Yeah, that one. So yes, I haven't got many left because you only get 10. And I've got one. Well, I've got half of one, I suppose. Got that side. Not sure why that's got a bit bent. Maybe it got a bit wet on. Maybe I got some wet on it. And then I've got a couple of plainish. So I've got this one, this one, this one, and this one. So all the black and white and one plain. So they're my least favourite, but that doesn't mean I won't use them at some point. So now I have to cut them down. So choose which bit I want. Hard to choose with this one, but I'm going to go for the one with the rose, I think. Or shall I? Let's see what's on the other side. So the size I've got, I wrote it down. 9 inches by 7 1/4 tall. So I need to turn them all. Couldn't go that way. So now you've got to decide which bit of the paper you really like. It's a really tough choice. I'm going to go for the top bit. And so it's 7. Let's get my glue book out of the way. Double check the height, 7 1/4 inches. So just move these to one side. So that's the 7 1/4 is the height. I'm just going to cut them all to the height that I need. That's that one. And I'm just going to do the top of this one. 7 1/4. Do the bottom half of this one. I've got this lovely border. And this one doesn't really matter. Of course it's a seam, all over. 7 1/4. Oh, oops. Didn't quite go through. Okay. Oh, this is tricky because it's all gorgeous all over. Sure. So that looks like some sort of border. So we do it that way, I think. It's quite tricky to choose which bit to discard of this paper. Alright, and this one, take the top, I take the bottom bit, so that I keep this. Right, there's all my lovely scraps. Find a project to do with those, won't I? Right, so then I've got to cut the width. So each page has got to be 4 1/2, I believe. Let me just check. So I need to make them 9 inches lengthways. that's all the cutting. Well, all the cutting for now, certainly with the big trimmer. So there's my pages. Now I just have to fold them in half. And we have to have 2 signatures, don't we? I'm just wondering which way. I don't suppose it matters which way you get folded, because you use both sides. It doesn't matter which way they get folded. Right. Now, let's put my little signatures together. Which ones look like they've kind of fallen into 2 groups that seem to go quite well together. Just wondering about that one and that one swapping. Or, no. Those 3, and those 3 maybe. Yeah. So I can go like that. That could go like that. And then that one and that one, like that. There we have it, 2 signatures. Okay, let's just see how it looks inside. Oh, I don't know if that goes quite as well with that one. Does that look better? Or should we go with that one? Yep, I think. Doesn't really matter which way round they go, but I think I like them that way round. Now I need to get my, well, I'm getting tracing paper. I know Rachel said use vellum, because tracing paper can be too thin, but this tracing paper is actually quite sturdy and I have used it before. And it's what I have. So a few sheets of that. We've got loads of scraps, so I might be able to use some of those. So I need to check the size that I need for my ephemera pieces. As I said, just in particular the ladies. Yeah, I think that's the size I'm going to have to go with. These may need cutting down a little bit. They're quite big anyway. So that's the size I'm going to go. Don't they? I mean, it looks gorgeous on there, doesn't it? Oh, I'm going to have to go for a minute. Our Tesco delivery's just turned up, so I'll be right back when we've brought our shopping in. Okay, so one Tesco delivery and a cup of tea later. We're just going to carry on working in this and making these pockets. So I think I'm just going to measure, see how wide they need to be. Let's get my little ruler. I've got to allow for some, I think if I make them about 4 inches across, hopefully that will work. And there'll be room to get them in. And I'm going to make them quite deep, or at least some of them. I think I'm going to alternate them. Some of them deeper and some of them not so deep. So I'm going to vary it a bit, I think. Right, so I need to do at least, so how many pages? So there was, how many pages in each signature? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 in each signature, I think. Or is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, sorry, 12 pages in each signature. So I'm going to do, just trying to think how many really big pockets I'm going to need. But they all need to be 4 inches wide, don't they? So let's try and see. I don't know how many, I don't think I'll be able to cut as many as Rachel did in one go. So I'm going to take 4 pages, I think. She did about 8 at a time. I'm not sure my cutter's as good as that, and even if it was, I'm not sure I'm strong enough to do that. So I'm going to do, oh no, I've got to do the height. Hang on, let's have a quick look how high they need to be, the big ones. I'm just trying to figure it out. So I want to make them, I think 3.5. Yeah, I make them 3.5 wide and 4 inches, 3.5 high and 4 inches wide. I think these slots, so I've got 4, 3.5. Let's see how that goes. Okay. And then I can get 2 lots of 4 inches, I think, out of this. So it's one signature's worth of the big pockets. But I don't know if I do big pockets on all the pages. I'm not sure. Because I've got such a varied sizes of images. So these are the very biggest, but I've got some really small ones as well. So I need to mix it up a bit. So I've got plenty of those now. I'm just thinking when I have one of those, what can I have with one of those in it? I've got these pockets. Some of these are scraps. So maybe I need to make a few of those. So maybe I'll do these in the first signature and then do the second signature slightly different. Let's do that. So how big are these? So they, oops, no, that way. They're only, what are they? 1.5. Okay, so I'll do some 1.5s. And I'm going to use this odd piece that I had earlier. So I've got 3. And do 1.5. And I'll cut them down. Oops, get this ruler out of the way. And 1.5 there. That's 2, 4. Yeah. Let's see how many I've got. Okay. I'll need to make them 4 inches wide. I'm hoping these are wide enough. These ones I already had, these little scraps. And I've made the previous ephemera pieces, ephemera holders. Let's cut this to 4 and do the others. Okay. That's 3. So I still have one left over, I think, or if not more. But I might need some for the second signature. Not sure. Okay. Now maybe I won't do all 3 because I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll see. No, yes, well. I think I need to cut them all to get 8. Right, I'll just have one left over, that's all. Okay. Six. And 9. So we have a spare. Okay. Right, so this signature, I'm going to try gluing those in, see how they work, how well they fit. I'm going to use the art glitter glue. It's what I've always used before. It works pretty well. It's quite strong. If I can ever get the top off. Come on, it's got a bit stuck. Right. Each time I'm rubbing the glue away from the pocket to leave as much room in the pocket as possible. So I'll carry on gluing in the rest of these into this signature, and then we'll look at what sizes we need for the second signature and cut those out. So I'll be right. Right, so I've glued in all my 8, and of course I've realised I didn't need 8, I needed 12. So I'm going to have to cut a few more, but I just thought I'd show you that the first few I had the top pocket quite high because I have these very small little cards. These are from Shabby Dabby Doodah, and that's perfect, but they're the only ones that would fit. A lot of the others I have are just a little bit longer, so from the middle I've made them just a bit lower so I can get some other longer cards in. And so I'm going to cut the same, more or less the same size again. I'm going to cut one more at 3.5 height to go here so that it looks the same. But then the last 3 pages I'm just going to make them a little bit shorter so that I can pull down the pocket just that bit more to allow room for some slightly taller ones. So I've got a few of these, so I might be able to bring them down a bit if I've got the other pocket is a bit smaller. So I'll kind of figure it out. But I need them to be fairly tall because I've got lots of fairly big images as well. Apart from the Tina ones, I've got these ones from Shabby Dabby Doodah, I've got these ones from Artie Mays, and a variety of those, and a lot of them I need to print some more anyway because I've used a lot. So yeah, so I can do a bit more variation, I think, of pocket size in the second signature, but this one I'm going to stick with the quite big ones and the smaller ones, and then we'll see what we do in the second signature. I'll be right back. I'm just going to carry on gluing. Okay, so I've just popped a few of my little pictures into some of these pockets that I've already done, just to kind of figure out what configuration I might need for the second signature. So this is a 3-inch pocket, and actually that's plenty tall enough for some of these bigger images. And this is the 1.5 inch, and that's absolutely fine. That works really well. But that doesn't work so well for these ones, and I have got a load of these still to cut out. It's a little bit too high. So I think what I might do is, I think I might do a few pages of 2.5 inches, I think. So I've got 2.5, 2.5, sort of more evenly spaced for the first, perhaps the first four signatures. Maybe even more than that, because I've got quite a lot of these sort of size of images. So maybe half the page, so 6 out of the 12 pockets, half and half, and then go back to this arrangement with some bigger ones again at the back. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I just need to cut. So I've got my pieces of vellum. Just trying to figure out. I'm going to cut. Let's just move this out of the way. So I'm going to cut a bunch at 4 inches, because then I can cut them down to, which is the width, of course, and then I can cut the height as I go. Hopefully that will give me plenty. I've still got a couple left of the, I missed one, hang on. Have I? Oh no, I've still got another one to put on here. Missed that. So that's quite a big picture. I had to cut that down, but that's really filling that pocket. And I've got quite a number of those. So yeah, I'm going to need some more big ones, but also some not so big ones. So if I cut 2 lots at 4 inches, seems to be the most economical way of cutting them, I think. It uses up almost the whole. In fact, I think that is 4 inches what I've got left. Is that 4 inches? It's a tad over. The merest smidge. But I'll do it to 4, because that's the width we're working with. But it does mean. Hang on. That's it. I was just catching. So then I can turn them around. I was just trying to think. So I need some at 2.5. No, I need quite a lot of 2.5s, don't I? So how many am I going to get? I've got one. How many pages have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how many I get if I just do this one at lots of 2.5s. So I think if I'm going to do 4, or is it 6 pages? I'm trying to figure out how many of these I'm going to need. Am I going to do 6 pages half and half? And 6 pages, not 6 pages, pockets. I need 12 pockets, so half the pockets, I said 2.5. So that's 2 per each page, so that's 12. So I need 12. Two. Four. Oh, hang on, how many I've got here? I've got 3 pages. Got more than I thought. How many have I got then? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did I get 5? Oh, there's one still in here. 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's cut these at 2.5. That's it. Two and a half. I want one more set, don't I? I want 9, 10, 11, 12. Hope that's right. And 2.5. So that's 3 pages. And then I need to go back to the bigger pockets, I think. Maybe I'll stick those in and see how they go. And maybe I can stick with that size. But I think I might need some bigger ones further along. But I'm just going to glue those ones in and see how they look. I always do this with my other little ephemera holders. I do different sizes because everything you put in them, some of them are really big and really tall, and some of them are really tiny. And there's no good just having the same size pockets for everything, because if you've got tiny things in big pockets, they just disappear, don't they? So I just like to have a variety of sizes so that I've got the pockets that fit the things that are going in them. That's what I prefer to do. So I will start gluing. So I'm going to have one at the bottom and one just above, like that. See, I'm hoping these aren't too deep now. So I've got, where are these sort of things. So this is the smaller version of that big one I have. They're going to be too, no, that's fine. So that's a good size. Okay, I'm going to glue a whole bunch of these and see how we go. I've used up all those pockets that I cut out, and I realised that actually 2.5-inch pockets are perfectly fine for the bigger images as well. So I'm just going to finish filling the book with 2.5-inch pockets all the way to the end, because I think that gives me more versatility, because all of these slightly smaller ones go in both sides, top and bottom. But I can also use it for some of the bigger ones. Let's see. So I've got my, got my Roxy Creations Italian Ladies, which will go in. Can't see the top of it. But as long as the width is okay, I think I'm not quite sure what's happened here. I think there's possibly a bit of glue. That's it. Got it. So it'll go in, and you can still see the ones at the top. So I'm going to just carry on doing that, I think. And I'm going to call it a halt to the video now, because you don't need to see me. You can see what it's going to be looking like. All the pockets are there. That's as far as Rachel took it, that she just started putting in her pockets. And I think in the next video we sew in the signatures, and I'm not sure what else, to be honest. Oh, we'll decorate the cover. That's the other thing we're going to do. So yeah, thank you for joining me for this today. It's been such a lot of fun. Absolutely love these papers. So this is going to be a really lovely little book, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to filling all these pockets with these little gorgeous lady images. Well, most of them are ladies. I've got a few men. So some of these. See, so I'm not sure which pockets they'll go in. They might go in these. A bit tall, but they'll go in the slightly bigger ones, won't they? So yeah, that's it for today. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.